Hi and welcome back to another video of JPlay. I am Marcus and yeah, I'm continuing to go through my loot pile of this year's Essen. And today I want to take a deeper look at Kingdom Legacy Feudal Kingdom. It's a very small box, so that's basically all that you get from this game. It consists of around, I don't know, 100 cards or so, give or take. It's really a legacy game, so I think that's at least how I thought about this, play a couple of rounds just to get you familiarized with the game. I haven't played it yet. It seems ultra simple. The game itself, even though it is a legacy game, you basically play until you, I think, uncover card 70 or so. This will then trigger the final round of the game, and you play this game over a number of rounds. Basically depends a little bit on your playing style, but once you are through, you are through. There are some expansions, mini expansions in this box here alone, so you can play that game again. The idea is there is a code here at the lid of the box, or in the lid of the box, where you can enter it at their website at Frix Games and see how you did. And if that's not enough, I also brought 2 expansions from this year's Essen, Adventures and Merchants. So this also allows you to play this game at least, I guess, 2 more times each. So it's not just once, basically you cannot just play it once, but I think with the expansions in here and these expansions maybe 4 or 5 times, if memory serves me well. The game system really looks super interesting, quite honestly. I think there are 2 more games on the horizon from what I can recall. Can't quite remember what those are. I think they're not out yet, but they might come out. Basically also small scale boxes, and then you play them through. They might come with their own little expansions. But this is really one of the games, and I usually really despise legacy games, quite honestly. And this is really one of those where you could have easily made this game replayable, because I think it's really actually ultra fun to play this game again and make different decisions, see how your kingdom grows in different directions. But yeah, it is what it is. There are a lot of discussions on this, how you can, I don't know, use sleeves and put proxy stickers instead of the stickers that come with the game. So there are ways, of course, how you can get around with that to really keep playing this game. Again, as I haven't played it, I don't know if that is really something where you say, no, it's fine, I played through my kingdom now, whatever, 2, 3, 4 times with the expansion, now it's good, I can move on. Or if this would be really something where you say, no, I want to constantly play this game. I really don't know. And yeah, I think with that being said, before we get started, huge shout out to all of my patrons and channel members. As usual, you guys are amazing. Can't tell you how much I appreciate your support. And also, because it is a legacy game, expect an awful lot of spoilers. The good thing about this game is I believe you can play this game basically legacy free until you uncover exactly card 23. It's somewhere mentioned in here, and maybe that's how long I will play it today. But still, you might see cards and stuff that you may not want to see if you are curious about this game. And then once I reach either card 23 or may stop earlier than that, I might then really consider continue playing it, but this then really depends on your interest. If you want to see me, I will definitely play it through no matter what, but if you want to accompany me, let me know and I will record the rest on camera here as well. And that was a very long introduction, very unusual for me. So yeah, let's set up the game and see how it goes. So that's basically what you get with the game. This is 2 sticker sets, really not an awful lot. You see that you can make your cards stronger, that they give you more money, more resources, more fighting power. Fighting power is, I believe, something that will come up a little bit later. So this, yes, is already some kind of a spoiler. This is the second deck. This includes all the expansion stuff, but there are also cards in there which you may be able to unlock in the normal 70 cards. So everything above 70 is either an expansion or is something that you will be able to unlock throughout your campaign here. Yeah, this is basically some introduction. This is card 000. And setup of this game, especially when you play this for the very first time, is also super simple, because yeah, we're removing those sticker sheets. We're removing this deck of cards. For now, we don't need it. You see, I mean, I haven't even looked at that. I only really unwrapped what was necessary. So what you do now is basically you take these cards and then you take cards 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10 from the deck. The rest goes away. We put it somewhere where you can't see that. And this is your starting kingdom. From those, you are not allowed to flip them over. You're not allowed to twist them in any shape or form, because this is stuff that you will be doing throughout the game, basically upgrading those cards, making them more powerful. But you are allowed, whatever you unlock or whenever you get a choice, let's say later on you might be able to get a choice choosing whatever out of 2 cards, you always get to look at all those 2 cards then and make a decision based on that. It's not completely blindly, which I think is then really working very well in the spirit of this legacy game, because yeah, there is nothing that you are missing out on, right? You still see, okay, what could have happened if I have chosen another path, right? That's the idea here. So yeah, I will not go into much of a detail here. Maybe I will have a quick look at those cards now here off camera. And then you basically shuffle the deck of 10 cards and you start playing the game. Before we get any deeper, you may ask yourself, hey, what it is we are trying to achieve. And again, ultimately, you want to score as many points as possible at the end of the game. At the end of your campaign, you will pretty much count up all the points that you see here on face-up cards in the proper orientation. So if this card would be, I think, something like this, you would only scoring 3 points. If you would upgrade it once more, this festival here would give you 4 points towards the end of the game. This is already stuff that I have more or less quote-unquote upgraded, but again, you are allowed to look at those. We will start basically all the cards with the orientation where you see the card number up here. And there's a cool website where you can basically check all the cards that are in the game, how you can use them, what they are do to you, any potential rule, not really inconsistent, the rules are pretty clear actually. So but now I will shuffle those cards and then you basically start playing. Okay, this is our shuffled deck of cards. You will always see what is coming next, and I think because we do, I will do a cut. So this will be now basically on top of our deck, and each turn around is basically when you are out of cards in your draw deck, and each turn you're always playing the top 4 cards of your deck, no matter what. You will simply play those and then you try to make the best out of what you got. Your turn automatically ends whenever you perform an upgrade. So when you want to make sure you optimize everything that you can, but whatever is still left after you have made an upgrade, you have to discard. Later on, as far as I understood, there will be permanent cards and some persistent cards, or so how they are called, staying cards. These are called, so they can be, let's say, on display for a little bit longer, but for now, everything that we play, everything that we use, everything that we upgrade is more or less immediately discarded. And maybe before we get started, let's have a quick look at the anatomy of a card. So we have a name, we have some kind of a, let's call it tag keyword. Again, this might be something that is interfering with other abilities over here. Here we see, for example, some upgrade effects. These are those arrows. This is always like this one here. This one says this is an action which you can take. So in this case, we would more or less cut down the forest here. We would produce 3 woods, which is nice, but then we would have to flip it here to the other side, and you see it's now a felled forest which no longer produces any wood, right? I think kind of makes sense. And there are all kinds of different cards out here. This, for example, produces gold, the wild grass, the gold again we might need to upgrade, so we need 2 gold in order to upgrade. All the resources that these let's say cards produce are virtual only, so you have to use them during this turn or they are lost. So there are no tokens whatsoever. Again, there are some persistent cards in the deck. There are some staying cards which might be stick around longer, but usually when you use those those, they are gone anyway, unless I think other than the persistent cards, I think they always stay around. Or here we have the trader, which is a person, and she comes with this action here which says spend to gain 1 wood. So in this case we could say, hey, let's produce this gold here, then we can spend the gold that we have produced here to spend it to gain 1 wood. Of course we could simply say, yeah, but we have the forest, we get the wood here anyway, right? These are these kind of decisions that you have to make, and again, ultimately we want to make sure we are somehow able to upgrade one of our cards. The problem is, I think right now we have nothing currently played that would allow us to upgrade. So for example, to upgrade the wild grass into the plains, we need 2 gold, and right now there is nothing else that would produce gold. So she's consuming gold, so we are buying from the trader here. There's always a possibility to pass. This also ends your turn, but then we are simply discarding all those cards and we are ultimately moving forward towards the next round. And again, maybe I haven't mentioned this, but at the start of each round you are discovering 2 new cards from this deck of cards here. And again, once you are through this deck, basically revealing card 70, this triggers the end of the round, and whatever you haven't achieved until then, that is lost. This is when you count up all your points. Luckily, there is another opportunity or another option that we can take. You can advance. Advance means simply play 2 more cards from the top of your deck, and you, as far as I understood, you can play that as many times as you want, unless again you're running out of your deck of cards. We only have 10 cards here, and right now we actually may have to consider that, because yeah, here we need stone. There's no way right now to produce stone. I mean, here when we upgrade this to a bazaar, let's do that right now. We can check that all the time basically. We can generate wood or stone with that bazaar, so it makes this also more powerful. But yeah, what are we going to do that? So I think we are going to advance, which means we are revealing 2 more cards. And I think we were kind of lucky here, because we have found 2 more lands that are producing gold. We could now produce 1, 2, 3 gold actually in order to upgrade the trader here. And producing means you simply discarding those cards, and then you have virtual 3 golds at your disposal. The question now really is that what you want to do? Or do I really rather would go for the plains? Because when we look at the plains on the upgraded side, this gives us a triggerable ability, discard a friendly card to gain 2 gold. And whenever you see this, let's say green arrow, this also means as soon as we're triggering this card, we also have to discard this as well. So usually when you do something with a card, in most cases, you have to discard it anyway. So I think that might be on the long term the better deal. But then again, getting stone here is also not terrible. We need stone for an awful lot of stuff. And because I haven't looked at my other terrain cards, of course, I don't know if we are getting a mountain range anytime soon, for example. On the other hand, wait a second. I see that now. We can upgrade the distant mountain to a rocky area. So we see that here in afar, and we are spending some money to explore this basically, and we will find the rocky area, and the rocky area will give us actually some stone. And if we discard it and spend some gold on top, it even gives us 2 stone, and we can upgrade it to this one here, a quarry. Oh gosh, I think yeah, that's what I want to do. So as you can clearly see, I am learning the game here with you, but I believe that's the idea of this game system. So I want to upgrade the distant mountain to the rocky area, which means I have to produce. So we are discarding this and we are discarding that. So I have now produced these 2 gold resources. We put them in a discard pile, and this allows us now to rotate it this way. So we have discovered the rocky area. Because we have changed the orientation, it doesn't matter in which orientation we did it, it also gets immediately discarded. As I told you, most of the cards, as soon as you touch them, they are discarded. And because we have now upgraded the card, this also means we have now to end our turn, which means we have to discard the rest of our card, go into the discard pile, and then we will start the next turn, not the next round, because again, we start a new round when we are through this deck here. And at the start of each round, we are discovering more cards. Now we are going into the next turn. So you always see what is coming, and if my math serves me right, we have exactly 4 more cards here in this deck. We had 4 to begin with, we added 2, 10 is the deck, yeah, should be 4 more cards. So let's see what we get. So let's see, we have wild grass, okay, we have some headquarters. Okay, to upgrade the headquarters we need an awful lot of stone. We have more of the distant mountain, and I think we can simply leave the wild grass in here. Good news is we can definitely do an upgrade because we have an awful lot of money at our disposal. Because again, we don't really have an awful lot of stones out there, and we already have seen in our cards we need a good amount of stone to do something meaningful with those cards. So the question is, do I want to upgrade the distant mountain here again, or do I simply want some more money production and let's say upgrade the wild grass here? I really don't know, and there might not be a right or wrong in this kind of game. It's simply, yeah, you have to make some decisions and have to live with those, right? And I think that's what I'm going to do. So again, we are producing 1, 2 gold. They are discarded. This allows us to upgrade this to the other side. So we have still one more rocky area now for our next round to come. And because we have upgraded a card, we have to end our turn. So we have to discard the rest. And yeah, this is basically already the end of round 1. Which means we are adding 2 more cards, 1 and 1. So we have found a river and we have found a jungle. Again, we are allowed to look at all sides and all orientations at those. The river gives us more gold, so now I'm a little bit happy that I opted to go for stone instead of more gold in this case, because here's another gold card. Upgrading the river already would give us 2 victory points already. Okay, that's not too shabby. And the jungle also gives us 1 wood, and with 3 we can then huge trees. This would give us also some more wood, but for now we have to leave the orientation as those are. They simply go into our deck of cards. We shuffle those deck of cards, and then yeah, we will officially start our next round. So each round might take a little bit longer than the round before because we are constantly adding more cards, and the game is very easily savable. You simply put, I don't know, I think this one here, basically a card that divides your active cards from the rest of cards, and then you simply pack it away, and then whenever you feel like it, you pick it up again. So I will again make a cut because again, I have seen that. I don't want to cheat. Okay, wild grass with wild grass. It is what it is, and then yeah, we are revealing 4 more cards for our first round to come. Okay, we have the river, that was a new card, and we have the headquarters. And again, we have to make an informed decision if there is something we can do with that. And I believe there is. I think we are going to upgrade the trader here. Right now, she only gives us 1 wood. If we are upgrading her, so if we invest in her, basically, she will then form a bazaar and would give us more stuff for it, and also our very first victory point. I mean, that's the name of the game, right? So yeah, let's produce 1, 2, 3 gold. So again, these cards are simply discarded, and in order to upgrade the trader to the other side, to the bazaar, we have now spent our virtual 3 gold, and now it's giving us 1 victory point, and now we can spend 1 coin to gain either a stone or a wood, so it's more powerful, and we can upgrade the bazaar again to the other side into a market, but yeah, will cost us an awful lot. But at least we have done something somewhat meaningful, at least I think. I mean, we have just gained our very first victory point, hooray. But because we have upgraded and we are out of cards, I mean, we could still advance in theory, but again, upgrading a card always ends your current turn. So let's move into the next round to come. Okay, forest, wild grass, and the rocky area. Is there something meaningful? Yes, in theory, with 2 wood and 2 gold, we could already upgrade the rocky area into a quarry, I believe. And the quarry, yeah, it's very, very powerful, actually. Ooh. Yeah, I think we can actually do that. We could, oh, wait a second. We can also generate 2 wood from this one here, actually. And with this 2 wood, to stone, we can upgrade the forest here. And again, we need 2 stone in order to, what would be on the other side? Ooh, that is interesting. If we would do that, we would have the sacred well. It would continue to produce only 1 gold. That's maybe a little bit lame, but we get to discover an additional card because we will get a shrine. So we'll get either card 82 or 83. Oh, that is now already, ooh, that's a difficult decision now. If I would do, or if I would know, I would do a full playthrough here. I think I would totally go for this one. But if I'm only doing, let's say, quote unquote, a walkthrough through those cards, I feel this would already give away a little bit too much. And again, in theory, you can restart the game until you play again, until you discover card 23. Or at that time, when you would discover it, you can then decide, no, I don't want to discover. I want to reset my game and want to whatever, take different choices. So even then you could say, yeah, let's continue. Let's start fresh. Let's do a full playthrough based on fresh cards. And then I would be able. So I think, yeah, I'm not going to do that actually. This almost feels a little bit too much. Let me know what you think actually. So in this case, I might rather consider trying to upgrade the rocky area to what was the quarry. In order to do that, we actually need 2 wood and 2 gold. We have the 2 gold, we only have 1 wood. But again, we can advance, which means we will reveal 2 more cards. And you have to reveal 2 cards if you advance. You can't say, okay, I'm only doing it. It's a little bit of a waste here. You can't simply say, I'm only want to advance 1 card here. That is not possible. And we'll make our next turn also much, much quicker actually. But anyway, we are doing this. So we are producing 2 gold, 2 wood here, and this allows us to put this to the other side. Now we have the quarry, which will give us some more stone. I think that definitely does make sense. So we are discarding all those cards that we have used to produce. We will discard the card that we have flipped now. Of course, that's what you do. And again, because we have upgraded, we have to end our turn anyway, which means the rocky area also gets discarded. Next turn, and the problem is we only have 2 more cards left, which I'm relatively certain now will not give us anything. So we will have to play all those cards. What we have, and then, yeah, I think there's really nothing we can do with that. Again, in order to upgrade this card, we need 2 gold. We can't produce with the wild grass because as soon as you produce it, it's discarded, which means we can't upgrade the card. And this one here, yes, we could spend this one to flip this one to give us 1 wood, but then we have 1 virtual wood, but no card that goes with it or that we can use it for. So in this case, we simply have to pass our turn. So these cards are also simply discarded. So I'm not sure if this was the best decision, actually upgrading this to a quarry, because it wasn't very efficient. But again, live and learn. And then, yeah, we are starting our next round of the game, which means we are discovering 2 more cards. This is a field worker or something else. We will get there. And here, wow, we have our first, I think they are friendly cards, and the other term is, I think, hostile cards or so, and this is clearly one of those. It's red, it shows enemy on it, and this is a really nasty fella actually. It's a card that you have to play, so this is an effect which you have to take, and you have to play the topmost 4 cards of your deck. And this bandit basically blocks 1 card with money production. I think we get to choose if there are more out of this, but we can now spend swords to defeat defeat in this case, really, you see it here, we would rip it apart and gain any 2 resources. And this also can be, oh, awesome, we can send a missionary after this guy, send him straight to God, it seems, and then we would be allowed to flip it. I believe we are allowed to look at the back of this card anyway, because every card that you are discovering or which you get to choose, you are allowed to look at. But again, I will not do that here on camera, again, to keep the spoilers to a minimum. And again, if you want me to do a full playthrough of this game, if you don't worry about spoilers, I typically also don't really worry about those, then I think I might start over anyway, right? That's the idea. The first couple of rounds can be ultra quick once you know the game. The interesting one now here though is the field worker. You see those red arrows here on top. The minute you discover it, you have to make a choice if you want to keep this card face up for the rest of the game, that is, or we can say instead of the nice field worker, we can go to the servant here, and the servant gives us basically always a choice of these 3 resources. This seems short-term very, very intriguing, but I believe the field worker is more of a long-term investment, because choose a land in play, gain its production as resources, and later on there will be, or there are already areas which we have, like the quarry, for example. I think the quarry is a land, right? Keep me honest here. Yes, the quarry is a land, so this card would then give us 2 resources instead of only 1. The other one is very versatile actually, but I like her better actually. I think I want to leave her like this. We will shuffle both of those cards in our deck anyway, and then we will start the next round of our game. Okay, this is our deck of cards. As usual, we will do a cut. So I'm not cheating here. And now we have the headquarters on top of our deck. So yeah, we will play the topmost 4 cards. And let's see what we get. A rocky area. Oh, we have the quarry. Okay, this is now an interesting one. So we have, in theory, enough stone. Ooh, that's now a very mean decision actually. We have enough stone now available to upgrade the headquarters to the town hall, which gives us 3, and this one produces a sword. For our bandit, this might be cool. The problem is, we already know the topmost card on this deck doesn't have a forest, and we don't know what the next card will be actually. There are no other cards that would give us stuff, and there's nothing we can upgrade. We can't upgrade anything right now. If I see that correctly, no, in fact not, which means I think we want to advance anyway, and already panning the camera around as you see to make room, so we will do that. And yeah, that was a nay. Okay, that was a little bit disappointing actually. Yeah, this is not great, and this is a kind of a problem that you kind of see what cards might be underneath. So there you have to pay a little bit attention that you're not giving away too much stuff. But yeah, I'm not continuing to draw now actually, because yeah, I don't know, it doesn't really make sense, right? This is such a waste. Oh, this is so perfect, having these 3 stone here. Yeah, this almost hurts actually, but yeah, I mean, we can still upgrade something. I think we can upgrade the wild grass here to produce. Yeah, let's do that. So we will discard the river and the wild grass. Oh, this is really bad. And this allows us to upgrade this now to the plains. Discard a friendly card. Friendly card, we can't discard the bandit obviously in this case, but this would give us 2 instead of 1 if we see fit. But we have upgraded a card, which means we have to end our turn. So we are moving back over here. So we have our friend, the field worker, we have the bandit, we have the bazaar, and we have the wild grass. And I don't think it matters when this card is being played. I think this is all considered to be simultaneously, which means this fella will now immediately occupy the wild grass here. Yeah, that is pretty bad, because now we can't use her. I think we can't use the bazaar right now because we don't have any gold. Okay, this might be a very, very frustrating round actually. These headquarters are bad, and see for yourself, the next card wouldn't have given us anything anyway, right? So, wow. So yeah, we are definitely advancing. So that's one and one more. Question is there now something we can do with that? But I think looking at those cards, I don't think there is anything. In order to upgrade the jungle, we need 3 coins. In theory, we have 2 coins. Basically, one for her, she would produce on the wild grass, then she would be discarded, and then we can produce with the wild grass to give us 2. But this doesn't help us at all. So I think we have, I believe, only 2-3 more cards in here. It has to be an even number, right? Because we haven't removed any card. I mean, if the bandit ever goes out, we might then end up in an odd number of cards. Yes, of course. Right now, still out. So I think let's advance. So, okay, these are the 2 last cards. Question is, did this change our world in any way or not? And I've looked at my cards for quite a while, and I think we have to make the very lame decision now to basically fell our forest here for good. So we will more or less discard, basically we will activate it to gain 3, and then we have to put it to the other side. So this no longer produces something, but with 1 gold we could more or less grow some more forest back in here. But for this stuff we can then flip it to the other side, which is the lumberjack. I think this might be actually our long-term plan anyway, but because we have now kind of upgraded, no, I think it wasn't an upgrade. No, this was actually not an upgrade. Yeah, I think that's the difference. An upgrade is only, so wait, where was it? It was like this. Yeah, this is not an upgrade. It's still discarded because we have the orientation, but it was not our upgrade. Upgrades are always on these brownish background ones. So our turn is still not over, but I do think that there is nothing else we can do. Of course, we can go for the next one here again, but let's stick to 1 more forest here for the next rounds to come. So I think I have to pass. This ends our round because our draw pile is empty. This also immediately ends. No, there was a turn and now it also ends the round. That's what I was going to say. Though those cards are all discarded. A very, very wasteful round. Poorly done. So we are revealing 2 more cards. More distant mountains, and hey, we have found yet another bandit. So we really want to make sure we are getting this town hall, which would generate, actually these are minus points as well, but the town hall will generate some salt. I really want to get rid of these suckers for sure. So I will shuffle those cards in. I will then maybe go through 1 final round for this video, and then I guess you have already seen quite a lot, but I'm relatively certain there's a lot more to uncover, especially when you are going for that shrine, which I didn't do, for example. I'm bringing out additional cards here into the deck and so on. So I think there's really a ton to explore, and I can't tell you how much I enjoy this game so far. Really so cool. Anyway, let me shuffle the cards and come back to you in a second. Of course, the headquarters have to be on top of our deck, but as usual, we will do a cut. Of course, the next card reveals the bandit. You must be joking. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. The bandit will now occupy any one of those 3. The question now really is there something which yeah, that's a problem, I think. Yeah, these bandits really do suck. So I think it doesn't matter too much because I'm relatively certain we will not generate 3 wood this round. So we will have him occupy this card here, like this. And again, there is nothing we can do. So I guess we will have to advance once more. Okay, 1 and 1. Here we have the plains, but the plains are still on top of our draw pile here, so maybe I will have to set it aside a little bit. But I think we have now at least enough to upgrade any one of those wild grasses. It doesn't matter which one those are. So we will discard this one here. We will flip this one because again, we have upgraded now, voluntarily upgraded a card. We have to discard those cards, ending our turn. Let's reveal 4 more cards. Okay, we have the Bazaar and we have the Quarry. So in theory, again, that is interesting. We could use the Quarry to upgrade the forest now to the other side. In this case, we would then discover the shrine. Ooh, but then again, here we do see, and this is really where it's cool, you do see what is coming in theory on top of the deck. The question is there a chance that we might be able to upgrade the headquarters? Let me think about this for a second. And I believe we can do that actually, because we have 2 stones here. 1 stone we could gain from basically discarding this card, and on top of discarding or activating this card, which means we have to discard it, but we also have to spend 1 plains, which is this one. The problem is, if beneath this headquarters is now the bandit, our plan will fail, but we will take the chance. No, I think we are good. So the headquarters, so we advanced, so we are bringing all of those cards out, and I think now we should be easily able to do that. So how do we do that? First of all, we want to generate 1 more stone. We need 3 stone in order to do that. So we are activating this, and we are, I don't know, activating this. So this generated now, we are discarding this. This generates either 1 wood or 1 stone. We need the stone right now. So we have 1 virtual stone, 3 virtual stone, 3 virtual stone and 1 wood. And this is exactly enough to upgrade our headquarters now to a town hall. And this is pretty amazing. Not only gives it 3 points to us, it generates or produces a sword. It's really, really nice, and we can activate this ability, play 1 land from discard pile. So we get to choose any one of those lands in here and play it. This gives us so many cool options. Awesome. Okay, but because we have upgraded our card, we have to end our turn. I think this really worked very, very well. And then I believe we are moving into the next round of the game, or next turn of the game, actually. So we have the jungle. There has to be 1 more bandit in here, actually. Yeah, there he is. But I think we dodged the bullet here on. The problem is, again, we don't get anything for that. So the bandit will not occupy anything, blocks 1 card with money production. There is no money production here. She choose a land in play, gain its resource. So we could use her, the field worker, to send her to the mines. That sounds pretty cool. She's here, whatever, singing here in this lovely wheat field, and then we are sending her to this harsh terrain. I don't know. She will lose her smile for sure. But anyway, she would give us 1 more stone. Then we could produce it. It would be 2 stone, but with 2 stone, there is nothing we can do. We cannot produce wood. So basically, again, we can't really use her, which means, again, we have to pass. We can't upgrade anything, so we have to pass. We are out of cards in our draw pile, which means the round is empty. Let me quickly show you the 2 more cards that we get. So here is a hill. Okay, hill needs now different stuff, which we can then, we can build a chapel. And I really do love the artwork on those cards, quite honestly. And the second card would be the East Cliffs. Oh, and those seem to be very, very, interesting. So we need now steel or iron ore, whatever this is, in order to upgrade this to a smithy. Okay, reset to discover jewelry. Okay, nice. Reset means, I believe, we are placing it basically like this. And then we would get to add another card 90 into the deck. Ooh, that is definitely tempting. And again, making the hill or the chapel is another victory point. And we can discover a missionary. And we know already the missionary can be used to transform bandits into lambs. I'm pretty sure that's how this works, right? Oh, okay. So many cool things to unfold in this game. I'm so deeply in love already. But I think for for today. Should we end it? I mean, it's 2 more rounds, right? After this one, we are already at card 18. Let's keep going. Let's keep going. If there's really something extremely mega spoilery, I will then stop in between, but let's do at least 1 more round, right? Shall we? Okie dokie, let's do a cut as usual. Okay, we have the East Cliffs, which I believe is our newly found. Oh, it gives us one. Oh, we can do stuff. What would it do? Let's play the cards first. Okay, we have the Bazaar. We have the Felled Forest. And we have, and yeah, the next card would be the Bandit. So we can now actually deliberately decide that we don't want the Bandit right now here in advance, because maybe there is nothing we can do. On the other hand, we could use the gold here to, yeah, more or less, there's definitely a word for that. Grow more trees again in that forest here. And again, we can examine our cards, and I think let's check the East Cliffs here, and we have the Wolves, and these stay in play. Cool. So they stay in play until we are using them, so we can leave them out and then say, ooh, we want them to get rid of them because of the Bandit. Okay, but I think there's currently no chance that we might be actually able getting 3 stones, right? Because if there would be 1 quarry here, for example, I would take my chances. But let's keep in mind the Felled Forest, we can also either, yeah, turn back, or we can upgrade it to a Lumberjack. That's 2 victory points and 2 wood, right? Never a bad thing. But yeah, right now there's really nothing we can do actually here. I think I do not want to. I think I want to keep this on this side to upgrade it. So we are going to advance. So we are playing the Bandit, which means the Wildgrass also comes out. And the Bandit will now... Ooh, do we want more rocky area here? We have stone. I don't really know actually. I think we can't use it anyway, right? For now... let's do something like this. So the Bandit will now occupy the wild grass. The thing is there anything meaningful we can do right now actually? Well, we could again just end the turn and say, okay, we have gotten rid of one of those bandits here. That might be a good thing. Again, there is no quarry here on top. We could generate 1 stone in here. We have 1 gold. So we have 1 stone here, which is here. We have 1 gold. So we have... okay, we have already 50%. Here's another one. We need 1 wood. I think let's take our chances. We will reveal 2 more cards. Oh, 1 and 1. Awesome. We have now produced our, we can play our town hall. That is cool. So this will be the thing that we are doing. We will produce 1 sword, and this one says spend 1 to defeat and gain any 2 resources. Cool stuff. So this fella is out. I will not destroy him because again, maybe you want me to restart or so from there. But the area is now available again, and we have 2 resources. Okay, now we have, I feel like, almost overspent. So the question now really is, we have now definitely enough to go for the Felled Forest. I think we can also go for the East Cliffs. And the East Cliffs, this stays in play, is so cool. But the 2 wood, oh gosh. We have 1 more bandit in here. The thing is, when we now upgrade it for this round, it will be out here anyway, right? So what do we need for those? So we have 2 gold. No, we have basically everything. We have the 2 gold and any 2 resources for killing that bandit, right? I mean, that's what it says. Gain any 2 resources, exactly. So no, we will do that. So we will flip it over to the Lumberjack. This will give us some points, and at least we are getting some more powerful resource production things. Okay, that was pretty nice. We have upgraded a card, which means we have to end our turn, and we have gotten rid of 1 bandit. That is nice. Okay, a hill. Wild grass, the river, and the field worker. The field worker. I mean, there is stuff we can do with it. We could go to the bridge here, actually. No, the bridge needs 3 wood. We don't have the wood. And here we don't... this is no wood. Oh, gosh. The wild grass. Yeah, I think let's keep this one simple. We are producing 2 gold. and upgrading this one here, making these are always more powerful this way, right? So we are never losing anything from the wild grass, because we have to rotate it before we can flip it anyway, right? So but that was that. We have upgraded a card, which means we are moving into the next turn of the game. Okay, and one more, and now again I think we can okay, let's do it. So we will activate the rocky area, because the rocky area says spend 1 gold to gain 2 stones. So we have to discard this one because we're activating it. We are discarding a gold card. Now we have generated 2 virtual stone, and maybe if I really continue playing this, I will use placeholder stones. So just to keep track of things. But again, with these 2 stones, we are upgrading the forest now to the sacred well. But I believe this is now the end station for this card. We can't flip it or turn it any other way. It will keep generating gold. That is nice. It's not a land, so the bandit is not occupying it, and it will generate 2 victory points for us. Now we would have to discover the shrine, card 82, 83. I'm not going to do that this video. Again, if you want me to continue, I will then do a more spoilery episode than with the next one. If you so desire, let's put it like this. But we have upgraded some. So I would shuffle it now basically into, I think, this cover, let me see, I think, does it go into my draw pile or not? But actually no, because this is an effect which we have to trigger. And again, as soon as you upgrade a card, it's getting discarded. So we won't do that right now anyway. So I'm not giving anything away, but I still don't know where the discovered new card goes in once we are destroying this card. So with the next round, we are allowed to discover it. We can still keep it in here for the gold. Let's say we definitely need the gold rather than to discover. In this case, we wouldn't discover, right? But yeah, it ends our turn. So that is that. At least I'm not giving anything away right now. And then we are moving into the last turn of this round. And yeah, there's really nothing to gain for those. The bandit doesn't really occupy this. The 2 stone are amazing, but doesn't really help us. And yeah, wow, here we get the iron ore. Interesting. Really, really interesting. But this now ends the round, and I believe now we are actually ending the game or the video for today. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you want me to continue. Again, in this deck alone, there are a ton more cards. We might be able to get more cards in here now for the shrine that we have uncovered. There is a chance we might meet a missionary. So a lot of options to come. Let me know what you think, and I will then consider keep playing. Let's really see how big of an interest we have here. And yeah, with that being said, hope to see you soon in one of my other videos. And yeah, until then, bye bye.